Welcome to Total Access, the DML Network's #1 show with your host, Expert and Lord Farquaad.
Welcome into the Dynasty Total Access. It's your boy Expert, and you know I got the homie Farquaad with me. What's up, my dude?
Hey, we're back. Let's get it, bro. Let's get it.
Time to pick up Total Access again. And we got a special guest in the room. It's one half of the game of the week. It's none other than H-Speed, owner of those Washington Redskins. What's up, my guy?
Let's go back. It's the second season in the Dynasty, and let's get these games rolling.
No doubt, but let's talk some business first. All right, Farquaad, played a little sketchy game today. Looked like Madden was picking plays for you, as the CPU wouldn't even let you play your own game today. What is going on with this version?
There's a lot going on with this. There's the infamous play call lag, which is one of the most important things besides actually being on the field is the play call. I mean, you got to get the troops right before you execute. So you got that. You got wide receiver not even reacting to the ball. Yeah. You got the overpowered D line. I mean, we got guys get 32 sacks, 28 sacks a year. Like that's nuts. So it's just a plethora of things wrong in my eye, but. We're going to keep trucking, man. But that lag needs to be addressed, though.
No doubt. Lag's got to get fixed. H-Speed, biggest concern of Madden 18, is it the ODD line, or is it cornerbacks and safeties that just react so quick to the ball?
Man, it's just for me, the lag, if you can fix the lag, I would be happy. It's hard to pick plays, man, and it's hard to make defensive adjustments. So that is right now my #1 concern. After that, of course, is the DB jumping every route. Now, I don't have a problem with the DBs jumping routes if you are a good defensive back. You know what I'm saying? If you're rated and you got a 90, 85, 88, 87 zone coverage, you jump routes, hey, more power to you. That's part of the game. Yeah. But for these bums put like a 78, 75 zone coverage, they pick six in people. I mean, it's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, and I agree. The lag's got to get fixed first, but then it's just some small tweaks and adjustments, so they can have a really good game on their hands. Nothing like, I hear people talking about they throwing the game away, they not playing Madden no more. I just think that's the wrong extreme. But let's get into Week 7 in the Dynasty because we got some great games, and we're going to start with the Dynasty Game of the Week, guys. It's Hot Tub and those Cowboys going to Washington to play H-Speed and the Redskins. Now, H-Speed, we already know you picking the Redskins. We'll give you a chance to talk about this one. But Farquaad, this is a big game. I believe H-Speed is still undefeated going into this game. And we know how much he loves playing Hot Tub. And he's given some games away in the Madden 17 cycle that he could have won. But this game is going to be epic. Now, I hate picking against Hot Tub Farquaad. But I played the Redskins earlier this year. He's legit. But I'm still picking the Cowboys. Cowboys going to Washington and get the win.
When these two teams link up with one another, I'm about to start putting Andre on Flair status and just not picking him when these two teams play because he gambles. So I see why this motherfucker gambles as much as he does, man.
Yeah.
He's got it rolling this year. I don't think, a 20 of time is a charm. He's not going to make the same mistakes. These are the last two undefeated, or no, these are two undefeated teams in the NFC. I think the only two undefeated teams in the NFC right now.
Correct.
I'm going to. Man, I'm giving this game to Andre, man. I think he's gonna come out and he's got something to prove. This is the time to do it. He wants the division. I'm gonna give this to the Redskins, man. Redskins win this game.
Got a message for Mr. Hot Tub. That shit over with, buddy. It was good. It was good while it lasted, man. Hey, congratulations for great Madden 17, but Madden 18. Hey, this is my division, and your ass coming to the chopping block, and we gonna scalp that ass. It's going to be a nice party in Washington.
Wow. Now, HB, do you get your running back this week against the Cowboys?
Oh my goodness, Christmas came early. P. Ryan was supposed to be out for 8 weeks. He's been only out like 3 weeks. They said last week when I played Flair, they said, "Do you want to bring him back early?" I was like, "Sure." Put him on the bench for a week, and he's fully recovered. So he's going to be trucking all kinds of Cowboys.
Wow. Huge game in the Dynasty to start. But let's go to the other undefeated team in the Dynasty. It's the Super Bowl champion Miami Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets H-Town and those Tennessee Titans coming into town. This one will not be an epic game. Dolphins with the easy win this week.
Yeah, shouts out JB, man. The homie's struggling out there, man. He's got a game plan. It's just when it comes to executing on top of Madden, man, you know, the BS you got to deal with there, it's tough. And he's got a really good Dolphins team that are defending Super Bowl champions. They're undefeated. They're starting off strong, picking up where they left off last season. This is the team to beat right now in the AFC, man. Dolphins with the win.
Man, tight work doing this thing. Congratulations on the Super Bowl. Tennessee, my man JB struggling, but I smell an upset. Hey, he definitely going to cover the point spread. I got the point spread at 8. He definitely going to cover, but
wow.
I don't know if he's going to win this game, man. Hey, JB, get the upset. I'm picking JB and them Titans, man.
Andre, we got like 12 games left. You didn't have to pick an upset so early, but that's okay. That's okay. JB, stop throwing the ball so much. Run that rock,
Henry.
Okay, it's sad. Next up, it's another struggling user, a guy we don't expect to struggle. It's Andy Force and the 49ers, just not having the greatest Madden cycle right now. And he's going up against Matty Ice and the Saints. Just happens to be Farquhar's best friend in the Dynasty. And I think the 49ers right the ship this week. They go into New Orleans. This is my upset of the week. 49ers with the win.
Not so fast, man. When Andy took this team top 10, I knew Andy's a great user, but no, you know, we didn't know what this game was going to be like when we did high stakes. But playing this game now, this is going to be an uphill battle, especially with that loaded Seattle Seahawks team in that division that he's going to have to deal with. That team's loaded, man. But Matty Ice has this running back that I don't know where the fuck he came from. Alvin Kamara? This guy is like, he's busting out 200-yard games. I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, is HB playing for you or something, bro? Like, he's pretty much tops in the league in rushing with only 96 carries, man. He's got well over 800 yards rushing. The guy is balling. Now, I don't know where he came from. He came out of nowhere. But Matty Ice seems to have his run game down right now. He's coming off a bad loss to the Cowboys. I'm going to give this game to the Saints, though. I don't know why I'm picking Matty Ice, but I'm going to give this game to the Saints just because San Fran, they need to, you know, give Andy Force a few more seasons. He'll turn the team around. I'm giving this to the Saints, though.
Absolutely. You know, the one of the things that you need to have in Madden 18, even though throwing the football is a gamble at best, you still need to have a competent quarterback. And San Francisco does not have a competent quarterback. And so that's one of the biggest reasons why Andy Force is struggling, because he likes to throw that rock, you know. That's his game. That's part of his game. Yeah, he runs too, but he likes to throw. So that's one of the reasons why he's struggling. Now, as far as Matty Ice, he got Alvin Kamara. I got another league, and he's seen what I did with Kamara. So he decided to start him in this league, and the guy's been a monster. Well over 800 yards, and he's stuck to the run game. So I expect Matty Ice to continue that trend and beat the 49ers. 49ers got a nice win against underrated last week, but I think it's going to be a back and forth year for the 49ers.
Wow. Next up, it's the OG Chris Murray. He's got those Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's going into Cincinnati to play our homie Addy 5 and the Bengals. Addy 5 not really having the great cycle that he expected. He will tell you that his Bengals are trash if you listen to him talk long enough. And the Steelers are coming off a loss versus the Falcons. But the Bengals got a win last week versus the Chargers, which was a really good win for him. Ben Roethlisberger's struggling for the Steelers, and he's going to continue to struggle versus that stingy defense. Bengals with the win this week.
Yeah, the Steelers team, this is a good team. But I don't know if it's the curse of HBO or what, man. That's kind of looming over this team, this franchise. But this team is just they're not as good as I think they should be. I don't know if that's user or Madden or what, not really sure. But Cincinnati Bengals, and I know Addy hates losing. He hates it, and he's having a struggling year, but he had a nice convincing win against what was an undefeated Chargers team. He handles that, and he's got a struggling Pittsburgh team coming into town. Addy 5 showing you why he's a top tier user. He's going to get this win impressively.
Absolutely. Addy 5 is one of the top users in Dynasty. Don't let him fool you.
Correct.
With the struggling bullshit, okay? Hey, Addy, you're not fooling me, buddy. You went out and you smacked the Chargers around, and that boy Good, who's another top user. So
yeah,
get the hell out of here with all this bullshit about I'm struggling, woe is me. That shit don't work over here, buddy. Having said that, the Steelers, man, with Chris Murray, like he switched teams. And I don't know which team. Like some weeks the Steelers come out and they play a great game, and then some weeks they come out and look like MVC or whatever the fuck his name was is running the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? So having said that, man, this is still the Bengals division until somebody steps up and knocks him out of there. 85 will win this game.
No doubt. Next up, it's my co-host. It's Lord Farquaad and those Falcons without Matty Ice going up against Skill Trade and those Ravens. Farquaad, you lost Matty Ice. What did it say? 35 weeks? He's done for.
Fucking torn pectoral muscle, bro.
Sit him down. Backup time to come in. Where is Corp when you need him in Atlanta? But you get Skill Trade, who played a tough game last week versus the Panthers. Didn't come out with the W, but still played tough. Got to get Joe Flacco going there in Baltimore. I think he was like 7 of 15 for 88 yards and 3 picks versus the Panthers. Not a very good showing. You got to be consistent throwing the ball to open the run game up. But he gets one of the stingiest defenses in the Dynasty. That Falcons team flies around the football. And Atlanta goes in without Matty Ice for the first week. And Falcons get the win.
It's Geno Smith time. Luckily, this team was built in preparations for stuff like this. Geno Smith, I expect him to come in here. We're going to use him very conservatively. We're not going to use him as much as we need to because we have a two-headed beast back there. Devontae Freeman, the best way to keep him on the field is to not use him on the field. So, but this week, we're going to use his number, man. We got him. We got Coleman back there running the ball. They're going to get they're going to split a lot of carries this week, man. You know I'm taking the win this week, bro. 4-2.
All right, so Matty Ice out for 35 weeks. The question is, have we seen Matty Ice play his last game in Atlanta? I mean, that's a question that definitely has to be asked. Geno Smith time. Woo, man. But I think the Ravens, man, they're struggling, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can get a win. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of. Did they win the game already?
Yeah, 1-4, man.
They 1-4. I don't know how they won that game. I mean, based off what I've seen. And they won't win this one. So make it 1-5, buddy.
Wow. Next up, it's C-Rob coming off of that win versus the Ravens. He has those Carolina Panthers, and he's going into Tampa Bay Buccaneers to play Ness. Coming off of a bye week, which he probably desperately needed, sitting at 1-4, not making a lot of noise over there in the NFC, letting the Falcons run away with that division early in the year. Ness has got to right the ship in Tampa Bay. He's got way too much talent on that football team, especially on the offensive side of the ball, to be struggling like he is. Do the Panthers get 2 in a row? I'm going to say yes. They go in Tampa Bay, upset the Buccaneers. Even though they're 1-4, they're still a top team. Panthers with the win this week.
This is a toss-up game for me, man. And it's tough because I would have never thought these two users, from what I've seen their body of work collectively, I would never, it's kind of crazy to see them struggle. But, when Ness came in the division, I definitely knew I had to get my shit in gear. To be a force in this guy because we know what he's capable of. And same with C-Rob. C-Rob, I mean, this is his second year, with the Panthers, and this guy's known to make some noise and have some really good stretches. So, but nonetheless, this is a new Madden. They're struggling this season. I honestly don't know who to pick to win this game, but if I close my eyes and choose who, I'm going to say the Panthers. I mean, the Bucks have a hard time stopping the run. Panthers, he's got that rookie Godin, and he's got White Lightning back there. Utilize them boys. Run that football. Panthers with the win.
Wow. This is the battle of the NFC South Cellar. So whoever win this game, whoever win this game is just one step ahead of the cellar, but your ass still on the bottom. C-Rob and them Panthers, man. If I had the Panthers, man, this dude, he had White Lightning. He went drafted the power back, which, if that's your preference, I get it. But trade White Lightning and get something. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of users, and there's plenty of users that would give up some nice assets for that young man. But having said that, I think Tampa Bay, coming off the bye, they took a ass whooping 2 weeks ago to the Falcons. I think they had a bad taste in their mouth and they chopping at the bit to get back. I think the Bucks gonna come out and have a nice win here, so they won't be in the cellar.
Yeah. Next up, it's underrated, and those Cardinals coming off a tough loss to the 49ers, playing against Butters, aka Sim Game himself, and those Detroit Lions coming off of a bye week. The Cardinals had a game last week that they just dominated the 49ers in every statistical category. Yards gained, time of possession, only turned the ball over one time, but just couldn't put enough points on the board to win. And Butters is playing just like Butters plays 500 football, and he's going to beat the Cardinals this week. Lions with the win.
Whoa. I think this game will be a lot closer than what you would look at just based off user play. Underrated, man. I'm actually rooting for this guy. I know we're in the same conference, but he's got a good team, man, and he's doing some things right on the offensive side of that football, at least with David Johnson. And he's got that but I think the best player in the draft, this past draft that we had, that D tackle, I can't remember his name, that's having an unbelievable rookie year so far also. Butters, let's be fair here. He's pretty much playing to keep up with KP and those Bears. They pretty much own that division for the most part. I don't care what the Packers are doing. That's KP's division. I'm going to give it to him early. But I'm going to give this game to the Cardinals. I'm rooting for underrated. This is just a really good football team. Butters still has some things to try to address on that defense side of the football. And you're going to see the holes in that when David Johnson runs for about 20 yards this game. Cardinals with the win.
Underrated is actually underrated this year. His name is really playing the truth, because I played him a couple weeks back, and we played last year. Both games were tough. Last week, it took a last second 59-yard touchdown with 25 seconds to beat this dude. You know what I'm saying? He was up, but he just couldn't finish. I think, and then he lost another tough one like that. He's lost a lot of tough games just like that this year. He lost to the Raiders the same fashion. And he lost late against the 49ers. But I think he's on the right track. He's very competitive. I think he's going to win this game. If he want to win that division, because I think he's leading it right now. So I think he can get this victory versus Butters, because Butters, his game is just so schizophrenic. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to describe it. Because
it is. Yeah, it's bipolar. Yeah.
One week he's good, one week he's not. This week he's not. Underrated gets the win. That's what I'm going with.
All right, next up, speaking of another guy that can't finish, it's the Colts with our homie T-Pain coming off a tough loss versus my Houston Texans. Had the game in the fourth quarter, threw a late pick. Just couldn't drive down the field. And he's going up against SJ and the Patriots, who's coming off of a double win against the Browns. You heard it here first. He was beating the Browns. Houdini pulled the plug. They restarted. He still beat him in the second game. So guess what? The Patriots are going to get 3 wins in 2 weeks. Patriots beat the winless Colts this week.
I'm not gonna spend too much time on this pick. The Patriots, this is a 3-team race right now. The Dolphins, the Patriots himself, and the Jets. In order for him to try to keep that division and stand, keep the wild card. And I know it's early in the season, but you got to think about this stuff going into it, especially in your opponent's schedules as well. He's got to win these games. This is a game that he cannot afford to lose right here. This is definitely putting him behind in that playoff race. But these Texans are terrible. I mean, not Texans. The Colts are terrible, man. They're terrible. Actually, with the impressive win this week.
Yeah, the Patriots, they're 4-2 right now, and I think they gotta win this game. Like, you gotta take care of business and win games like this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The games that you supposed to win, supposedly. I mean, I know anybody can win any week, and T-Pain is not no rollover. But if SJ want to get to where he want to go, he needs to go in and just take care of business right here, and I think he'll do that.
No doubt. T-Pain is 3 or 4 plays away from being 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
Don't count him out. Next up, it's the co-commish, Tone Dog, and those Broncos going up against Houdini and the Browns. Neither one of these guys playing real well. One of them can't count to 53, but we got that fixed. We're going to move forward. Next up, listen. Houdini is frustrated whether he will admit it or not, because he doesn't expect to lose some of these games he's losing. And this could be the other upset of the week for me. I like Tone Dog. We didn't see him yet play his week 6 game against the Raiders, but I'm going to pick the Broncos in an upset over Cleveland.
This is a really close game statistically, man. This can go either, kind of teeter tatters down the stats per game sheet, man. I mean, this game can go either way. With that being said, Tone plays late. He's a late night guy. Not as much traffic on the, doing the servers. I think that may work in his favor a little bit. I'm going to give this game to the Broncos, not against Houdini, but he's got 53 men this week, so that'll help him.
Yeah.
That'll help him, give him that extra push he needs to be, the team that I know he's capable of. So go ahead, man. 53, rock out, man. Broncos with the win.
I think Houdini's been struggling this especially this season, and the back end of last year, and I don't think that trend is going to stop this week. I think the Broncos are actually 3-2, so if they win their game, they can be 4-2. So actually, I think it will be Tone shouldn't be the underdog. He should. If I was if I was Vegas, I would say Tone was like a 3-point favorite, even though the Browns are at home. So really, that's like a touchdown favorite. So I'm going to go with the Broncos to win, to cover.
And he's playing with Kaepernick. Like, what? Why do you trade Deshaun Kaiser? Well, for what?
Just sometimes we just have horrible GM decisions in the dynasty that just baffle us. I sometimes I just don't get it. We got guys doing 8-9 trades a year. It's just crazy. But let's move on. Next up, it's that boy Good in those Chargers. We talked earlier, he's coming off of that first loss of the year when he played Addy 5 last week, and he's got Darkness and the Raiders. God, I hate to be Darkness and the Raiders week 7 because you know Dat Boy Good doesn't like losing 2 in a row. Chargers go in and get a huge win versus the Raiders.
He had a hiccup 2 weeks ago against the Chiefs. I know the Chargers did. Mo almost won that game until Madden in all its glory had pretty much glitched the game out on him. He threw it out of bounds, and they called it a fumble. So he lost. He was like, it went from like a 3rd and 2 to like a 3rd and 18. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Which cost him that game against the Chargers. But Chargers coming off a loss too, against the Bengals. So he's got a really good Raiders team coming up. I'm pretty sure these Raiders are going to be focused. They're 4-1. Well, actually, they still had a game to go. So I know they were playing the Broncos tonight or tomorrow. So not really sure what this is going to be like by the time this is put out. But I'm gonna give this game to that boy, man. He had an ugly win and an ugly loss. I think he's gonna follow this up with the win, man, just so he can stay. I know he wants that number 1 spot so he can make the playoffs. He wants that bye. I'm giving this to the Chargers.
Man, that AFC West is shaping up to be a tough division.
Oh yeah.
You got that boy. He got 1 loss. You got Tone with 2, and you got the Raiders with just 1 loss as well. Maybe Tone get him and he can have his 2nd loss, or he'll be at 5-1. Having said that, the Chargers just lost, so I would hate to play him after that L. And these are the games that's going to decide this division, man. I think the Chargers. Last year we had a roll, and I think they was the best team in that division, and I still think they're the best team, and I think the Chargers come out with this win. But Darkness is gonna play them tough though. It's gonna be a good game. It's not gonna be a blowout city.
Yeah, no doubt. Next up, it's the homie Ty and those Rams going up against the big homie and the Seahawks. Man, Los Angeles Rams struggling this year. I believe our homie Ty had a little message for EA and Yo Mamas, how he really feels about y'all, because you are ruining Madden 18 for him. And it doesn't get any better this week because the Seahawks, like the homie Farquhar said, are loaded on that football team. Seahawks are at home. They get an easy win this week versus the Rams.
This is a game that I wanted to call an upset, but I just have to look deeper into both of these stats. And yeah, the Seahawks, I mean, they play great defense. They're pretty much top 10 in passing, rushing, and yards allowed, but they're giving up 24 points per game when only scoring 15, and they're only passing for. He's got Russell Wilson passing for only 55 yards a game. So it's. I mean, these are some ugly games that he's playing, and it shows. That's why he's kind of falling behind the division. I'm going to give this game to the Seahawks, though, just because they're just the better team statistically. They're a better team on paper when it comes to these athletes. This defense is loaded, man. I wonder if Ty, I know he had a great draft and drafted some studs on that offensive line. So I'm hoping he's going to utilize that run, because if he toss anything up in there, it's getting picked, man. He's got some ball hawks back there flying around in that secondary. I'm still going to give this game to the Rams. I mean, to the Seahawks, though. Seahawks with the win.
All right, Rams. Ty, look, you draft these linemen. The purpose of drafting these linemen was to let them big boys start road grading, man. Those guys, hey, you got to get them guys going. And it's a guy named Todd Gurley. If I had Gurley, oh my goodness. Ty, use Todd Gurley, man. Lean on him. Put it on Todd Gurley and them young pups that you just drafted, and start road grading, man. Hey, start this week in Seattle. Get this victory. I'm picking you to win. I'm picking you to be motivated. Get this win versus the Seahawks, and make a fight for this division, which I still think underrated is going to win it, but make a fight for it, man.
Wow. Upset for H-Speed there. Next up, a huge matchup in the AFC South. It's King Vitamin and those Jaguars headed to Houston to play Expert and the Texans. King Vitamin comes into this game off of a win versus KP. Good win versus a good user that puts him at 3-3, and he's going up against the 5-1 Texans coming off a win versus the Colts and our homie T-Pain. I don't want to say in week 7 already in the Dynasty this is a must win, but for King Vitamin, this is a must win in the AFC South. To go to 3-4 while the Texans would be 6-1 would kind of put this division almost out of reach. And you know I'm not picking against myself. Texans get a W, although it will be a close game. King Vitamin always plays me tough. Texans with the win.
You definitely hit it there. This is the game that you have to win. It's an early game, but if you want this division, this is you got the opponent. You got an opponent that is. This is a game you got to win. Period. You got to win this game if you want to make some noise in this division and play catch up. You got to start with beating the guy that's up top, and that's the Texans. I can't believe he got blanked out 15-0 by Flair. I still can't believe that. I don't know what happened that game, but that was just a bad loss. So in order to get that loss out of his mouth, you got to take advantage of win this game. Will he win it? No. Texans are rolling right now. I'm going with my brother, man. Texans with the win this week.
Man, Vitamin is struggling. Okay, let me just call it straight up. Anytime you lose the Flair 15-0, you're struggling. And Flair, I just played him today. It was a brutal beating. I just laid down 66-9 or some shit.
6 pick sixes though, God.
It was 5. Let's get it right. 5 pick sixes. But getting back to Vitamin, I think he's struggling a little bit, but I don't think he's a good user. So he's one of those guys that continue to be in the lab, continue to work on his game. And I think he knows that he has to have this game. The Texans is right now, they turned that shit around from last year. Last year, it was brutal.
Whoa.
It was brutal last year. They had their
7-game win streak. It was all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was brutal in the beginning of the year. They ended the year well, and they started out and continued that trend this year. So they're controlling the division. So Vitamin, man, hey, you lose this, buddy. You might as well go and get your draft board together. So look, man, I'm gonna keep some motivation, man. I'm picking the Texans to keep rolling and move to 6-1.
Wow. Let's move on. Another struggling team, and it happens to belong to the commish of the Dynasty. It's Dion and those Vikings, and he's got to go against the NFC North leaders. It's KP, the fake version, and those Chicago Bears. The Vikings turned the ball over 7 times last week against the Jets.
Yikes.
And Mr. Sweets, the third ebook user we have in the Dynasty, cannot turn the ball over 7 times in this version. You're going to get killed every single time. Blaine Gabbert, I just don't know if he is the answer in Minnesota. And he's got a tough Bears team. You know KP is going to bring it. I hate picking against the commish. We got so much respect for the homie. But he about to get his teeth kicked in versus the Bears. Bears with a big win.
Not so fast, man. This team is struggling on offense. They're giving up a lot of rushing yards, but they don't give up damn near anything. I think they played week 1, if I'm not mistaken, and that game was like, 7-3 or something like that. It was a very close defensive battle. Vikings play great defense. Bears play great defense. This is going to be a nice divisional matchup. Vikings are still in it. This division is still anybody's division for the most part. So this will be a must win. I'm pretty sure Nasty Noob knows what's at stake for this game. In order for him to keep up with this division, this is the game you got to win because he's the top dogs right now. This is just like the Texans and the Jags game. If you want to win this game, or if you want to, stay competitive in that division, you got to win this game. I'm gonna say the Bears win this game regardless. Just not enough offensive firepower. He needs a quarterback in Minnesota bad because Blaine Gabbert is not the answer at all. Bears will
No.
Man, Minnesota's still in this division, man. They only like a game or so back.
Yeah.
And I looked on Daddy Leagues and I was looking up this motherfucker's giving up 25 passing yards. Is that right?
Crazy.
25 passing yards a game?
Crazy.
Is that what I'm saying? That shit is ridiculous, man. And for your record to be what it is, you got to clean up the turnovers. Just the bottom line. You cannot you're giving up 25 passing yards a game. There's no way your record should be like this, man. Go in there, going to Chicago, you know what I mean? Going to the stadium, Soldier Field, go to KP and just take the fucking game from him. Say, hey, man, give me your beer and drink it right in his face. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and win that game. I'm picking the Vikings to win this game.
Wow. Next up, last game on the schedule, it's Hamilton and the Buffalo Bills going up against Sweets, the newest owner in the dynasty, and those Jets. He's kind of quiet, but he's got a good game. Not going to waste a lot of time here. Hamilton struggling. Jets with the win this week.
I think we got a new man on the edge, guys. We got a new man on the ledge. I think Hamilton may jump, fellas. I don't want him to. He's been here since the beginning, but he may just jump. Shouts out Sweets. I'm in another league. I just took on another league with this guy, and Sweets is the real fucking deal, man. He can play some football. This isn't going to be a pretty game for Hamilton. Goddamn, I wish I could. I want to root for you, bro, but I can't do it this week, man. Jets with the win.
Hey, Hamilton, I'm gonna tell you. Let's look at the bright side. Fuck the game this week because it don't look good. But I'm gonna give you the bright side. The bright side is this, man. You'll get another top 5 pick, maybe top pick. You got your safety coming back next year that you drafted, the 95 speed kid. He'll be back. You'll get another piece. Maybe you could trade Tyrod. I see you got a lot of people on the block. Just trade everybody, man. Start over. Because y'all getting y'all ass destroyed. And it ain't going to stop this week. Sweets with the win. The Jets with the win. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, it was rough for Hamilton losing his top draft pick very early in the year and losing for the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 0-6 to start this season. So, Dynasty, guys, I'm going to need everybody to fill an open slot in the chat. You'll be on suicide watch looking after the Bills. Just be available in case Hamilton needs you for something. In case he needs to talk or just needs to chat it up or something. Because Farquaad has officially put him on the ledge. Hopefully he doesn't jump because we love the homie Hamilton. All right, guys, that is week 7. Man, shout out to the homie H-Speed. I always appreciate when you jump on. Love your opinion. Hopefully you can go out there and get you a W this week versus the Cowboys.
No hope. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. You come into FedEx, right? We're going to go to his sideline, right? And we're going to take everything from him. Say, man, give me this. Give me that. We're going to be like, nigga, man, give me this shit. And then we're going to send their asses back to Texas.
We know the homie Hot Tub always watches Total Access. And I can see, hopefully he's not at work today because we need to make sure we protect Trump. A lot of people out there trying to take that dude out.
Hashtag protect Trump.
But we know the homie Hot Tub is wanting to put up 70 points. He's done that before in the Dynasty when people talk trash about whooping him. But I'm rooting for the homie H-Speed, but I just don't see it happening. But it's week 7. Farquaad, those are our opinions, man. Prove us right, prove us wrong. It's just our opinions. Like always, it's your boy Expert, and you know I got the homie Farquaad with me.
Hey, let's get it.
We out.